Hey, Bill,
Yes.
we are on tape right now, and
And
I believe you're hiding.
do you blame me?
Eh, no,
No,
but we gotta look good for camera. So it's like,
I'm not having a bad hair day. I'm having a bad team month.
well, does it stink like the mixture of peanuts and Cracker Jacks and throw up and a bunch of crap that the Yankees are?
I must remind you, this bag has stayed clean for over 2 years.
The bag has stayed clean over 2 years. So it has lived through the Giants debacle and it now lives through the Yankee debacle. Oh, the bag returns in case people are watching and you haven't figured it
The
out.
bag is back.
Oh my
For
God.
different purposes. I only use this mainly for the Giants. I never really used it for the Yankees.
You know what? It's very appropriate using it for the Yankees because the Yankees are trash.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm sure the lovely folks want to see my beautiful
They,
face.
they,
So
they do, but oh God, but you can put it back on as soon as we start talking about it because you're gonna need to hide yourself a little.
yeah. What's up, everyone? Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy here for the Sports Insanity Network. And I am joined by my good friend and fellow suffering Yankee fan right now, Danny Boy Reginald. And welcome to another exciting edition of Bombers Banter.
Rather than
Hi.
wearing Yankee gear this month, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Y'all need Jesus.
The Yankees
On
need
my
Jesus
shirt.
right now.
Yankees, this is what the Yankees need. They need Jesus right now to do the magical, make the magical touch. You know, whatever the Yankees have to do for the next, God knows, maybe 40 days or so. I don't know, maybe suffer, maybe you have to give something up.
It's basically the Yankee version of Lent right now. We all have to suffer.
I mean, would it hurt? I mean, look, they've kind of done this before. Remember when the Yankees had to sell in 2016? They're like, well, we're giving up everything. We ain't going after a playoff spot. And all of a sudden, the Yankees went after a playoff spot.
So, yeah.
Well, it's very possible that if the Yankees were to sell, and which they do, they unload players like Rizzo and Stanton and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, the Yankees were on this massive playoff run that no one expected them to, and they used the kids to help them get over the hump. Oh, yeah, then we're talking about another year of Aaron Boone. But in any case, yeah, the Yankees are bad. They're
So,
bad.
yeah, in this one, we're going to review July, talk a little about the trade deadline. Is there really anything to talk about?
Well, we do have news on the Judge front. You brought that up.
We will be talking about that, and also we're going to preview August, and also, of course, stump the Reg.
Stump me.
Yeah, but anyway, I think we need to bring our friend back here for a second.
Yeah.
This is how I describe the Yankees July. You ready?
Yeah.
This team is embarrassing to watch.
I mean, so embarrassing that even Bill's good friend JT, who loves nothing but going to Yankee Stadium, is like, I'm sick and tired of the Yankees. I'm gonna stay home based on the crap that I'm watching. And I'm like, yeah. As good.
Speaking of our good friend JT Mahoney, first of all, JT, if you were watching, shout out to you, good buddy. Actually, I got a funny story about that. Last week, JT texted me on Monday. He said, "Hey, do you want to go to the game on Friday?" And I'm like, let me look into it. So I'll see, because we were having something at my house the next day, and I didn't want to be like coming home late and then being absolutely exhausted. So anyway, he texted me on Wednesday. He said, "You know what? Don't worry about it. We're not going Wednesday. I mean, we're not going Friday." And I asked him why. He goes, because I don't want to sit and watch them suck. So, yeah, you've even driven JT away, Yankees. I hope you're proud of yourself.
No, you would have saw a Yankee win. Had
We
you
would have. I'm like, dude, we would have saw them win.
you would have been in the process of seeing a Yankee sweep if you had
I
saw it.
would have, and that would have been amazing. But
It's actually one of the highlights of July.
are there many highlights in this month? No, there aren't.
Not really.
But you know what? I'll give you that for the sweep. That was the first Yankees series win since the Oakland series in the end of June.
Can you believe how brutal that is? That's how brutal of a month the Yankees have had.
Because you know what? And we've said this in June, and we're going to say it again. You're losing to teams you should be able to beat with your eyes closed.
You know what, Bill? What have we learned about this Yankee team? Well, the Yankees should be beating teams that they should easily beat. I wonder if the Yankees are just not that good.
I'm starting to wonder that too, because you know what?
We just have to accept the fact, as hard as it is for us Yankee fans, maybe we just have to accept the fact that the Yankees are just not a good team this year. And look, it doesn't mean, look, on paper, yeah, we should be obliterating every team. We should be in the mix for the playoffs. Heck, I would say it should be a 4-team race for the damn division, but it's not. That's not the case for this season. And it's a very, very, very unfortunate. But yeah, no, I just don't think the Yankees right now are playing very well. There are teams that are obviously better than them under the payroll. It's not even close. And I just think that the Yankees are overmatched. Manager-wise, they're overmatched. Player-wise, they're overmatched. It's embarrassing at times. It is very embarrassing, though.
Oh, absolutely. Because you know what? Here's a breeze through of the month right now. St. Louis series, we lose 2 out of 3. The Baltimore series, I'll give them credit. They actually split that series.
It was actually a very good series for the Yankees.
The Cubs, they lose 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. Oh, yeah. I was actually at the game where they won. So I was at that game.
And can you believe the night before you went to that game, the Yankees lost to the Cubs? Apparently, that was the first time ever the Chicago Cubs have ever won a series in the Bronx, which is history in 2023. So
what a history that we don't want to be a part of.
No, like I would much rather sweep the damn Cubs.
Yeah. By the way, you know who was at that game the night before I went? You know who was at that game?
Oh, who?
JT Mahoney.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was there with his girlfriend, our good friend John, and his lovely fiance Jess. So yeah, and JT's lovely girlfriend Molly. So yeah, they were at that game.
Yeah, and then that took us to the All-Star break, and we were thinking, okay, the Yankees really, really needed this All-Star break. They've had bad series against the Cardinals. They've had a tough series, which I'm actually going to give them a pass for the Orioles series because they did win 2 games out of 4.
No, listen, they
They
did better than
probably should have
expected in that series.
Well, they probably should have at least lost 3 out of 4. Excuse me. And of course, then wouldn't have been surprised they also got swept. But they actually took 2 from the Orioles, so I'll give them that. So tough series against the Cardinals. Well, awful series against the Cardinals, excuse me. Tough one against Baltimore, and then awful against Chicago.
Again, a series we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
And then the All-Star break, we're thinking, okay, they can't be that bad. Oh, yeah, by the way, that game right before the All-Star break, it's time to play a rousing game. And you know what game this is, Reg?
What?
It's time to play What the Hell Was Aaron Boone Thinking?
Oh, he's clueless.
He pulls Domingo Germán, who has a good game going.
Yeah.
He pulls him after 74 pitches. And he goes, Aaron, why did you do that? Is he okay? I'm thinking, oh my God, is he hurt? Did he pull something? He goes, well, yeah, he's okay. We just don't want to fatigue him. Fatigue him. You know, you guys are going into the All-Star break, right? He's not going to pitch at least for another week, right?
Coolest. Coolest.
This guy, this
He
is smarter than Aaron Boone. Look, Reggie,
he acts like Bill. He acts like he thinks we're crazy. He thinks we're not smart. He thinks we're dumb half the time.
Smarter than Aaron Boone. Bang.
Yes. But like, no, it was just another awful, awful, awful answer by an awful, awful, awful manager.
He's just like,
there's no reason for it. If you have to read the room, and we've been saying this for the last 5-6 years with Aaron Boone. You have to read the room. If you see your pitcher going out there dealing, I don't care how many pitches he's at. If he's tired, tough crap, a lot of these pitchers in the 1950s were probably exhausted, but they kept pitching, right? Into the 7th inning, into the 8th inning, without having to worry about pitch count or having to worry about facing a lefty and all that stuff. Like, come on now.
Like,
gotta get that out of your head. Read the room.
Like, here's what I think, though, Reg. And we talked about this when we did our May show.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that pissed me off the most, it was that very first game of May. And the Yankees had a great May.
Mm-hmm.
May. Remember when the Yankees were playing good in May? Good times.
All time ago, right?
Yeah, it seems like a long time. But, Armand's on the mound. Yanks up 1-0 in the 9th. He gives up a single. Boone panic moves and takes him out. Holmes, give me Holmes, give me Holmes. Single, sorry, Holmes. This guy is literally the dumbest human being on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it was tough. It was very tough to watch that happen. But yeah, like Boone said, it should be no problem. We're going to the All-Star break. Everyone will just rebound like nothing.
That's a good one, Reggie. You're gonna rebound like nothing.
Yeah, we'll rebound in the Rockies series, right?
Yeah, totally. We're gonna rebound in the Rockies series. We're gonna totally do it, Reggie.
We'll rebound perfectly fine. Now, Giancarlo actually had a good series. He actually had a damn good series. He had a few home runs, a bunch of RBIs, like he always does, and sets up the Yankees for success. Just not the pitching. It was a disaster against the Rockies.
I think in that last game, I'm sorry for having a brain fart here, so please tell me if I'm right or not. Cole pitched, I think, that last game of that series.
I believe, yeah, and I think the Yankees actually had the lead for a while, and they blew it.
I feel bad for Garrett Cole. He's like the only bright spot on this team right now.
It was tough to watch that. I know it was so tough.
Yeah, I feel bad for Garrett Cole. Like I said, he's the only bright spot on this team.
Yeah, he's the only bright spot. Period. And that's another one that just blows, is that you have good pitching from your ace, your true ace, and it all goes to waste because the Yankee hitting just doesn't care enough to
bats are anemic.
And look, Yankees actually score a lot of runs in that game, but for Cole to go 6 innings and to only give up a run and have 11 strikeouts, that should be enough to win you the game right there.
That should be
enough to win you the game. But everyone knows you cannot win the game if you're only scoring 2 runs, 3 runs, and leaving the team enough room to make a comeback once they hit your bullpen, because that bullpen is, while it's been okay, I think the Yankees bullpen gets too much credit. I think they should get, the credit should come to waste that a little bit because they have not done anything to hold any lead, and it's a disaster. It sucks.
And also, and then after the Rockies series, they get swept by the Angels.
Yeah, they get swept by Shohei, basically. That's what happened. They got swept by Shohei.
Yeah, that was just. But then they swept the Royals. Isn't this wonderful, Reggie? They swept the Royals.
Yeah, the lowly Royals, who are like a trillion games under 500. Yeah.
What did he freaking do?
And by the way, the Royals scored at least 4 runs in games 1 and 3, and actually made it a game against the Yankees in both of those games.
Oh my God! It's like that series. Like, let me tell you,
the Royals can actually hit the damn ball and can actually put pressure on you. So, yeah.
You want to know something? Friday night, and I'm sorry, Yankee fans, I didn't even watch because I was like, I also had some other things I had to do, but I was so PO'd after the Angels sweep. I didn't even watch Friday night. Do you blame me?
No, I mean, how can anyone blame you? Like, I wasn't even.
I never felt like I am 29 years old.
Like, how?
For the first time in my life, I feel like I actually have to force myself to watch this team.
Right. Like, what? Why should I watch a Yankee team face a team that should be worse than them? Remember the script? They're worse than the Yankees, so the Yankees should easily beat them, right?
I know, right?
Yeah. So what makes me think that this team is going to actually go out there and sweep a team that they're better than? But they did. So I actually give them a lot of credit with that. But with how the season has gone, why would I think that they would? So that's why I barely watched that. And credit's due. Sunday afternoon, who comes out alive all of a sudden? Anthony Rizzo comes out alive all of a sudden. It's his first home run since the end of May.
We're reminiscing on May right now, folks. It was a good month.
He's stuck at like 12 home runs. That's awful. He's had a really, really tough season.
The guy this whole team is a joke.
Yeah.
This whole team is just a freaking joke. And then we split the Subway Series with the Mets, and the Tuesday night game. I was actually watching the game with our good friend Miss Allie Wiener.
I was watching the game too. I should watch the game with y'all.
Yeah, you could have shot me a text. We would have loved to have you. And Allie got the last laugh Tuesday night, but I got the last laugh last night. So, you know what I actually did the last night to Allie after the Yankees won?
What happened?
I sent a voice memo. I did the John Sterling, the ball game over. Yankees win. Ah, Yankees win. Guys, both New York baseball teams suck right now. Let's just admit that to our Met fan friends. Guess what? You guys suck too. So
the Yankees and the Mets are trash. The Yankees played like the Yankees in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Or even now throughout the 80s.
Or throughout the 80s, where they just had no identity. The Mets on Wednesday played like the 62 team. So it's like they're the lovable losers.
When you say no identity, hold on to that thought. We're gonna come back to that in a minute, okay? We're gonna come back to that.
But yeah, no, look, I think that the state overall of New York baseball is just not good. They're just not good teams. And once again, in the Subway Series, what this has proven is that it doesn't matter how the Yankees or Mets win their games. The bottom line is right now, both of these teams are terrible. And the play showed that it was a bad product. And it's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing to watch sometimes. It really is.
And you know what Listen, whether you're a Yankee fan or whether you're a Met fan in baseball right now, there's one thing you're thinking about right now. You know what that is?
What is that?
When does football start?
When does football start? When do the Jets and Aaron Rodgers go on this massive playoff run? That's expected.
When do the Giants come back with Saquon now?
Well, they kind of did. Oh, by the way, got a SIP has not been released yet, but I will release that soon.
Get on it! Get on it, Reg!
It will be updated with the Saquon news. So,
Yeah, so
to stay tuned.
yeah, but yeah, we're counting the days to football season now
And
because
yeah, training camps are open. So yeah, maybe baseball fans are very excited about that because they got nothing to cheer for coming in October.
because think about it this way here, Reg. Because as things are looking right now, let's just say it: the Yankees are 90% not going to make the playoffs.
Well, they're favored to miss the playoffs.
Never thought you'd hear that, but yeah, but we have some good news.
Some.
Keyword some.
Mhm.
Aaron Judge should be in the lineup as early as this weekend for the Yankees.
Yeah, for the past week, Aaron Judge has taken batting practice. He started running, and here's my honest opinion. And I feel like I think Aaron Judge is actually making progress to actually return. I don't think the Yankees would lie about that.
Oh, they lie about what? Hal Steinbrenner and lies about everything else.
Right. But I feel like the Yankees right now are so desperate to make somewhat of a season that they're going to bring back their best player from the injured list. Hoping that he'll come back and do his thing, and he probably will. Like the lineup will definitely feel the difference when he gets back into the lineup against the Orioles. But if that's actually the case, I mean that's all rumored. I think it's going to happen. But I still question whether it's too soon to do it.
I'm with you there. I'm like,
what if he comes back? I'm not saying he's going to re-aggravate the toe. I'm sure he'll be fine. But let's just say he comes back and throughout the season doesn't say anything else about this toe anymore. But then he goes into the off season, and then they still have to do more work on the toe, maybe another surgery or maybe another different type of treatment. And then us Yankee fans are going to question, well, we thought Aaron Judge was okay. Like, why are we sending him out there if he's not okay? Well, and then they're going to make all the excuses from the book. So I don't know if it's the right time for him. I understand Judge wants to play. I understand Yankee fans want him to play. But I'm just being real here, Bill.
I expect nothing less.
In this season, I just don't know if the play of Aaron Judge is going to be enough to save the Yankees season. And in my opinion, I think it'd be best if we sit him out the rest of the year. If you want to bring him back for September just so we can see him, fine. But what playoff run are they going to make? Right now, nothing about this Yankee team shows that they're going to do anything special.
Yeah. And I want to just touch on something here. Reg, I think you make a very fair point. And we were talking about this last month here. What's the point of bringing Aaron Judge back? He's not going to make the postseason. They're not going to make the postseason unless they go on some miraculous August, which is very unlikely. This team is. And like the thing is, it's like, and I made this comparison last month when we were talking about Jeter when he got injured in the 2012 LCS.
Right.
And then he came back for like one or two games in 2013, and they said, "Oh, yeah, he's done for the year." Like, what if he comes back this weekend? Judge comes back this weekend in Baltimore against the first place Baltimore Orioles. Shout out to Big Al. Shout out to our good friend Big Al. And then something happens. He re-injures his toe. Guess what? He's out for the year. Well done, dumbasses. Well done, morons.
But it could happen though.
I'm not saying it can't. I'm saying it could. And you know what? The brilliant geniuses known as Aaron Boone are probably going to go, everything's fine. It's not fine. You know, Reg, you know the meme of the dog and the kitchen's on fire?
Oh, yeah, everyone knows that.
That's this Yankee team right now, through the eyes of Aaron Boone and through the eyes of, oh, we're going to get to you, Hal, in a minute. Oh, you think we're going to let you slide on this one? Oh, no, you ain't getting off that easy, buddy. Is he getting off that easy, Reg?
I think everyone's getting it easy.
Oh. But anyway, but like, here's the thing with Aaron Judge. When you said the Yankees have no identity, their identity is none other than Aaron Judge.
But even
Who else you got? You got Garrett Cole?
Yeah. Even with the identity being Aaron Judge, it's still nothing. The Yankees in the last offseason, and we knew this was going to happen. I'm not saying I didn't expect this to happen, but we knew something like, this would kind of happen, where all they did was sign Judge and be like, yeah, that's all we pretty much need. We have our best player. Now we can just throw out a bunch of dumbasses and then hope for the best. Well, it's now backfiring on them. Not getting it another corner outfielder in the offseason, like a Michael Conforto. Not saying that he would have made a difference in the season. I don't know what Michael Conforto or any other big time outfielder would have done for the Yankees. I don't know what they would have done this season. But don't you think that having that insurance would have been better for the team?
Oh, absolutely.
So that was hard to watch. Then for them not to go after any other free agents, and ultimately Brian Cashman did not do enough to improve it. He didn't do enough to improve it, and the Yankees are worse off because of it.
Absolutely. And like, here's the thing, when we said the no identity thing, they're just like, Judge, that's enough. We're good.
You know how tough it is to watch your team continue to get worse and worse and worse and
oh
worse.
My God. Because you know what I think about, Reg? I think about people who grew. Okay, my dad is 62 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be 63 in December. But I think about him, my uncle, who is a year older, people like our good friend Larry Schnapp,
Mm-hmm.
Who are like in their 60s, and they grew up in like, in that dark era of from 1964 to 1976.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember my dad and my uncle always told me, my brother, and my cousins that, oh, you guys are spoiled when it comes to the Yankees.
Yeah.
When we were young, they sucked.
It's true.
And you know what? I think my dad and my uncle are 100% correct. Because we grew up near the tail end of that 90s dynasty and into the 2000s. And even though they lost in 2001 and 2003, they still got to the World Series.
Yeah, I mean,
and then, when we saw in 2009, I think my dad and my uncle are 100% correct.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Yankees would win 100 games a year. The Yankees make the playoffs, and I mean, it got to a point where fans got too content with the brand and knowing that the Yankees are always going to be in the running no matter what. And it caught on to us when the Yankees in 2013 missed the playoffs, when they missed the playoffs 2014, when they missed the playoffs 2016. And now on the verge of probably having one of their worst seasons in franchise history.
You want to know something? It's not. You want to know something? We got too comfortable.
Yeah.
We got way too comfortable.
Like, we don't even know if the Yankees are going to have a winning season. Like, we don't. And the Yankees have had winning seasons since, like, the 90s, 80s, 90s.
And here's the thing. And it's just not feasible right now. Like, they suck.
Yeah.
It's depressing to watch.
It really is. It's tough.
And it's like, and you want to know, and you know who is to blame. Oh, you thought we were going to let him slide this episode. Oh, guess what, guys? Oh, guess who it's time I call out and call him a dumbass. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Let the audience guess for a little bit.
You know what, audience? Pause. Guess.
Is it David Wells?
Why would it be David Wells?
I'd be him. No, I mean, it's kind of around. Is it Joe Torre? Is it the ghost of Mickey Mantle?
He's here.
Is it the ghost of Joe DiMaggio?
Don't bring Mickey and Joe into this. Don't bring Mickey and Joe into this. Let's rest in peace.
Is it CBS? Is it CBS?
Yes, right. It's CBS.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, for those who don't know, CBS actually owned the Yankees before Steinbrenner did.
Yeah, and then we're gonna sell them to Steinbrenner. That's what they're gonna do. Yeah, no. Hal has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? I actually found this article from the Daily News that was published last Saturday, and I'm gonna read it and share it with you. We're gonna stop periodically, and you tell me if you agree or disagree. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. And again, this was released last Saturday, so it was a little dated. One would hope Hal Steinbrenner is no longer confused about why Yankee fans. Oh, by the way, this was written by Bill Madden of the New York Daily News. One would hope Hal Steinbrenner is no longer confused about why Yankee fans are so upset, as he proclaimed back on June 21st when the team was floundering in third place, 9.5 games behind in the American League East. Because remember, Reg, it was only June.
Right.
There is nothing to be confused about the present state of the Yankees. It's a lousy, poor, constructed, grossly overpriced ball club that just came home in last place after a dismal 1-5 road trip against the Angels and the wretched Rockies, again, last week, with no hope of reaching the World Series, where it hasn't been in 14 years anytime soon. Now it is time for Hal Steinbrenner to stop being confused and start taking stock of his franchise under the watch of the analytics-obsessed Brian Cashman, the eternal GM. You know what? I kind of agree with that. Like, the guy is eternal. You know what? Brian Cashman is like that favorite child who can do no wrong. And we've been saying this. Hal, it's time.
Well, it's time for him to do a lot of things. It's time for him to get with the program and understand that, the fan base is not tolerating what's being put on the field. It's time for him to make moves in the front office with management because they've gotten too complacent and too comfy. And it's embarrassing at times to have to, play GM a little bit and try to, speculate what the Yankees are going to do, even though we know in our hearts that the Yankees are not going to do anything. It's time for Hal to take back the team and put the good name back in the Steinbrenner name. Because this is embarrassing to watch. And for him to be so quiet, and I know he's talked to Yankee fans, right, which I appreciate. I think we do have to give Hal credit with that he has been upfront with Yankee fans, whether it's on the radio or on TV. He has been upfront with Yankee fans. So, but the excuses get old, and this business model gets old.
Absolutely.
It's time, if you really want to win, and I know he does, it's time to make changes. And if you know you can't make those changes, then hate to say it, and I don't want this to happen, but I think it's time that you officially file to sell the Yankees.
You know he wouldn't do that.
He's not going to do it. But Bill, if we're going to continue to get bad product after bad product after bad product, or even if we get a good product, that it just teases us until the playoffs. You know how many times the Yankees have been teased and punked?
A lot.
It's too much.
It is way too much.
It is unbearable at times, dude. It really is.
Yeah. There is more. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to bounce around a little because it's a long one. Back in March, Hal said it shouldn't take $300 million to win a championship, but you shouldn't have to pay $280 million as he is now to finish last either. The Yankee payroll is only hideous because of the players it's being spent on.
Yeah.
$32 million a year on an oft-injured Giancarlo Stanton, who's 33 years old, through 2027. $17 million a year on 33-year-old Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
Through 2024. $15 million a year on a 35-year-old DJ LeMahieu. Through 2026. $21 million off a 37-year-old Josh Donaldson, which thankfully his contract is up this year. Bye! We won't miss you, Josh Donaldson. I am so sick of this man. I really am.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm sick of the excuses. I'm sick of him trying to justify why this, why the operation is, running as it is. It's time that he makes changes, but he won't make changes. He has told us exactly what he wants. He has told us everything we all need to know. Aaron Boone ain't going anywhere. And if he does, well, they're going to hire a lookalike. Cashman ain't going anywhere. They'll make hires to make it seem like the Yankees are doing stuff, but they aren't. And it's right now. The fans are getting sick and tired of it. They're tired of his answers. They're tired of his antics. They are tired of him having to spend more money, even though it's not going to prove anything. And there's no investment into the ball club and into the fan base.
And a $27 million a year for a likewise often injured 30-year-old Carlos Rodon, who is 0-3, 7.36.
Just be fair to Rodon. Rodon actually had a good start against the Mets.
Yeah. Hey, last night, Reg, you know what happened? What? He finally won a game. He finally won a game.
I have to give Rodon a little bit of this is the only part that I'm actually going to defend the Yankees on. Got to give Rodon some time to just chill out. It's his April. Now, we don't want it to be his April. We wanted it to be his August, where he's striking out people with his four-seam fastball and being the second ace in the staff. But he's rusty. You got to give him time to settle in. He actually had a good start against the Mets. He did. But it's just coming at the absolute worst time because he's coming off an injury. So I cut him some slack a little bit.
Yeah, I will cut him some slack. Okay, this is a bit of a long article. I'm just going to bounce around a little.
Sure. Okay,
we were just talking about Cashman. Goes, as for Judge, his toe injury now is fully revealed that the Emperor Cashman and the Yankees as a whole have no clothes.
It sucks.
And you know what? Forget the rest of the article, because you know what? I have a challenge for Mr. Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Hal, I know you're listening. You want to see what the fans think? At the next Yankee home game, don't sit in your little fancy schmancy owner's box.
Well,
I want you in the stands, Hal.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And I want you to hear the frustration.
You think a billionaire is going to be sitting?
George did it.
Yeah, but he's not George.
No, Hal, if you want to know what this fan base is really, how it really feels, I want you sitting in the stands, and I want you to hear the frustration. Where don't sit in your little posh owner's box drinking Chardonnay. You think he probably drinks Chardonnay in his owner's box?
Oh, he probably does a lot of stuff in his owner's box.
And eat your little caviar.
Yeah, no, he's going to do that though because he doesn't care. He does not care.
Because I bet if he did that, he would finally have an epiphany. Like, damn,
No,
what we're doing is not working.
It wouldn't matter because he doesn't care.
And you know what I think? And I'm going to say something about Hal Steinbrenner. That's probably, you know what? I don't care if you get offended, Hal. Hal Steinbrenner is nothing but a spoiled brat nepo baby.
Well, no, all he did was inherit a team.
That's all he did.
Inherit a franchise, and it is very clear that he has no idea what he's doing. It's almost as if, and obviously you can't blame his sister, Steinbrenner Swindle, for, you can't blame them for whatever relationship she had. But Steve Swindle, who was supposed to be the next in line person to be the head of the Yankees, he had more of an idea of what this Yankee ball club should be run. He was actually learning under George. He was the real one learning under George.
So he was supposed to be, you know what it is? It's like Steve Swindle, even though he's George Steinbrenner's son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
He's like it's like a father who's about to pass down his business to his kid.
Yeah.
But it's like, the two kids, the son has been busting his hump and is really trying to learn the tools of the trade. Yeah. And when the father retires or passes away, the father's ready to pass the business down to that son. And then there's the other son who just doesn't care, goofs off.
Yeah.
And the father passes it down to the son who just doesn't care.
Yeah, ultimately, Hal Steinbrenner, understanding that he had his father's business in the bag, knew, okay, well, I'm going to inherit a business. It's $1 billion business. It's not going to go anywhere. He's going to make money. He's a spoiled brat. He really is. He's
been born with a silver spoon in his hand. Like I said, yeah. I don't like using this word a lot, but I use it. I'll say it again. He's a total nepo baby.
He inherited a massive franchise and a historic franchise, and this is in his backyard. This is a team he grew up watching his dad run, and I hate to say it this way, but all the children, I mean, God rest and soul, but all of his children, knowing that his business was going to get passed down into the family, was just handed to them, and they're all spoiled brats. And
Al, if you really
all spoiled brats who don't care about the game of baseball. All they care about is the money, because they
listen. We can't say much about Miss Swindle because we don't really know, so we can't.
Yeah, really but she has the Steinbrenner name, just like everyone else.
Well, does she have a role in the organization?
I mean, they're like co-chairperson, whatever the hell they are. They're in management. Yeah.
Yeah, but she probably just stays out of the spotlight.
Oh no. Hal is the man. He's the man. He's always been the man.
How many arguments do you think they get into like every week?
Minimum. They don't get into anything.
Like, I guarantee you, Hal and Steve Swindle probably get into it.
I don't even know if he's even involved anymore. That's the problem.
Do you think maybe, and I'm just going on a guess here, when George probably told Steve, "Hey, Steve, listen, my boys don't care. When I'm gone, you take control," and you think Hal maybe then start getting more involved so he can get daddy's business?
I mean, first of all, they're divorced, so it's like you can't. There's just no way. He sold his stake, so there's just no way of getting that back. But
I actually didn't know that. My apologies.
Yeah, no, he's not part of the team anymore. But like my point is that I feel like that whole part changed the course of history of how this team was structured to be handed down to, because then was ended up being handed down to the children, which is fine, but the children don't know how to run the team.
And like, listen, I make comparisons to this family, but the Maras, the family who own the Giants.
No says spoiled brats.
But you know what? I'll give John Mara credit that he is starting to realize that things need to change. Like when he hired Joe Schoen, when he said, I can't run it the way my father ran it. It's just different times. I got to start running this as it's my team, not my father's team, because he inherited all the people that his father had.
Yeah, so he needed new blood. Yeah.
So, credit to John Mara that at least he's like trying to say, okay, things got to change here. I can't run it like my dad ran it. But
hope that Hal does that.
Hal just doesn't care. And we said this last week, he's a spoiled brat. He doesn't care that they sell. He goes, hey, people are still going to games. People are still buying. People are still spending $15 on beer.
Yeah, and
what am I to care?
But I'm just letting you know, when the Yankees become bad in 5 years, I'm giving you a timeline of 5 years or so, when the Yankees actually become an awful team, because I don't see, with the way this is going, I don't know if this next set of Yankee prospects are going to pan out. Like, we don't know anything. Right now, Volpe is like iffy. We don't know what's going to happen with him. We don't know what's going to happen with the Dominguez and the Cabreras and the Perazzas. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. So 5 years down the road, the Yankees could be awful. When the Yankees are awful and there's no one in the seats and there barely any Yankee season tickets being renewed, like, it's going to show. The product is going to show, and the fan reaction is going to show as well.
You know what? I'm going to say this.
And at that point, that's when you have to make the change. So I'm going to allow the Steinbrenners, I'm going to allow Hal to run the team exactly like he wants to. I'll get you in a second. I'm going to allow him to run it as he wants. He can do whatever the heck he wants. He can do these analytics BS. He can continue to keep Cashman. He can continue to keep Boone and all that stuff. And just run it to the ground. Just run it to the ground and see where it goes.
And you know what? And 5 years, but Hal, don't be shocked when nobody's coming to games anymore.
Yeah.
Who want to spend God knows how much on the tickets, but not just the tickets, who want to spend $30 on train tickets or pay if you drive. Pay like $40 for parking, and spend God knows how much on food.
When businesses like Billy's Sports Bar, not sponsored, when they start closing down around Yankee Stadium because of your incompetence,
he's gonna sit here and go, "Oh, I don't know why my business is not."
It's starting to look like. I mean, Rifkin and I've had this conversation on Batter Up. It's starting to look like the Wilpons.
You know what, Hal? Here's my message to you. If you really just don't care, then sell.
And that's my point.
Sell.
Like,
listen, if Hal, you didn't want to be a part of this.
I feel like there's an owner out there. There's someone that would want to own the Yankees that would actually care enough about this team to make it into a championship team, a true championship team.
And
that Hal's just not caring for.
If I've been reading I've actually been reading. Shocker. I've been reading this book about the Yankees 90s dynasty. It's called From Chumps to Champs. I didn't get all the way through it, but there was a part when Steinbrenner got suspended in the 90s that he wanted to pass on operations to Hal, but Hal didn't want anything to do with the team.
Mm-hmm.
And like Hal, when you got it after Daddy died, if you really didn't want anything to do with it, if you and your brother didn't want anything to do with it, then you should have just opted to sell.
Yeah,
you should have just sold it. And you know what, Hal, I'm still throwing that offer out to you. I
Mhm.
want you to go sit in the stands. Don't sit them. Don't sit and go, hey, yes, look at the peasants. No, sit amongst them. Sit amongst the fans and
Won't
see the
do it.
frustration.
He doesn't care. He won't do it. He
And
will not do it.
if I was an owner and I was sitting in the stands and I hear the fans being pissed off, I'd be like, you know what? Things got to change here. But that's the problem.
So ownership's a huge issue. Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Okay. So anyway, trade deadline's coming up. We're not going to spend too much time on this just because nothing's going to happen.
Sell, sell, sell.
No, you know who I would want to get actually?
Who?
I want to get Bellinger.
What's gonna make it? Is that gonna make a difference?
Well, we have a new outfielder. As my dad was saying, we need
It's gonna
another
make a difference
outfielder.
for this year. We're gonna give up prospects. You have to understand, Bill. We're gonna give up prospects to the Cubs to get Cody Bellinger. Is that going to make a difference for our team this season?
Once you look at it, no, because we're already so deep into a hole.
Like you're talking about the Yankees having to go on a massive run to win a division, which is out of reach, but not impossible. And then for the wild card, you're talking about the third wild card at this point. So you mean tell me that the Yankees are gonna try to go for a third wild card only to be disappointed once again in the wild card series?
You think it's just best this point?
Okay, so we get Cody Bellinger. Okay, what about the rest of the line?
Good point.
I'm going to show out.
So are you saying at this point we should just cut our losses?
I think we should sell.
Cut our losses.
You have a golden opportunity here, knowing that the Yankees are not going to be good this year, probably not going to be good next year if this continues. And of course, I could be wrong and stuff, but you have an opportunity. Why don't you sell the players that you have? Try to negotiate whatever contract you want and get something back. And look, it's okay if the Yankees have a down year in 24. It's okay if the Yankees have a down year in 25. We have to get new blood in here. We got to get new players. We got to get new manager. We got to get general manager. We got to get this, got to do that. If the Yankees fall through on this, then they truly have a chance to actually grow the club. But it starts here at the trade deadline where they have a chance to actually get assets back. And I know it's tough to say because, of course we always want the Yankees to win. But let's say we go after, we buy. If we get to the wild card series and lose, then what did buying actually do for us? So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So rid of that LeMahieu contract. See if you can get rid of. I don't want to get rid of the Rizzo contract, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, if we can get something for Rizzo, that'd be pretty nice. Stanton, whatever it is, do it.
But you would definitely keep Judge, though, right?
Well, we have to. We can't get rid of him.
He's our captain.
No, the idea is to build around Judge.
Absolutely. And yeah, so basically sell the deadline. Let's just cut our losses at this point.
Yeah. Now, of course, what do you want the Yankees to do? I know you want the Yankees to get Bellinger.
I want the Yankees to get Bellinger. I want him to get at least another pitcher.
So another outfielder. You want another pitcher. What is pitcher being in the rotation, the starting rotation?
Yeah, because with Nestor Cortez,
he's still up and down, isn't he?
Nestor Cortez up and down, and I want to we said this last month, and we'll say it again. Let's just get rid of Severino.
No, I think Luis Severino fits well into the bullpen.
Okay.
In the reliever before, he was a reliever towards the end of the one. I forget which season it was. 1920, whichever one it was. It could have been 2021. Down the stretch with one of those seasons, he was a reliever, and into the playoffs, he was a reliever, and actually did a very good job at it. I wonder if you take the pressure off the Luis Severino, and he only comes in for an inning. Would that make a difference to how he approaches his pitching? Just saying. Like, what if we turn him into a reliever?
That could work.
I know that the plans were to make him a big time starter, but if I'm being real with you, I've seen enough Luis Severino starts where I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want him to start anymore. I was done a long time ago, to be honest. But I gave it a chance because that's what the Yankees wanted. Right now, it hasn't really changed much. Luis Severino is a mediocre starting pitcher.
That's the problem right now. So, yeah, so I would want to see another pitcher or potential outfielder, but I could see why they should sell to just get prospects. And
Yeah. But yeah, the I don't know if I would get rid of Severino. I would try to convert him to a reliever before I would do anything with him.
fair enough.
Because you can salvage that as much. I know the Yankees are also paying a lot for Severino based on his numbers, but like if we could convert him to a reliever, I think that would be the first step. And let's see how he reacts. Let's see if going a short term. And we know he can be a long guy. If we ever need like another bullpen game, that he can probably go 3 innings. So there's that.
Okay, so that's with the trade deadline and with ownership that still sucks. Okay, so we're gonna breeze through August, and when I mean breeze, guess what I mean? Breeze.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with August with the Rays. 3 games with the Rays. What do you think?
It's a series that's spilling from the end of July. That is a Tampa Bay win. I don't know if the Yankees are going to beat Tampa Bay there, so I will give the Rays that series.
Okay, then we got 4 with the Astros.
It's a loss too. The Astros are better.
I think possibly a split, but yeah.
I mean, if
Okay.
split with the Astros, that's actually a win.
It's just like with the O's. Okay, then we got 3 in Chicago with the White Sox.
This will be the Yankees. I want to count for a second. Give me 1 second. This would be the Yankees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is a stretch of 13 in a row without a day off. So they're gonna get exhausted at some point. And if it's the same team that's being thrown out there now, or maybe the same team with Aaron Judge in the lineup. I don't know if going to Chicago is a good thing for them. They'll probably win a couple games. I can see them probably taking 2 or 3, but it's going to be very exhausting for them.
Okay, so yeah, I could see them beating Chicago. Then we have 3 in Miami against the Marlins.
They've been struggling of late, so this should be easier for the Yankees. So I would think the Marlins, they're not going to crap out totally, but this should be easier for the Yankees.
Yeah, and then we got 3 against the Braves, who are red hot right now.
The Braves, that's a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss. And then back to the Bronx.
Yeah.
For 3 against the Sox.
Yeah, the Red Sox have owned us. There's no. Look, if the Yankees go on a tear to start August, then I'll have more confidence in being the Red Sox. But right now, I just don't feel it.
I actually have to tell you, next year, I'm actually planning on going up to Boston to Fenway for a Yankee Red Sox game.
You need a partner in that?
What was that?
You need a partner in that.
I got some folks going, but if you want to come.
I would love nothing more than to go to Boston or watch a Yankee game.
We'll talk later, okay?
We'll talk off air, as we would say in radio. Yeah, no, look, the Yankees, should the Yankees at least take 2 from the Red Sox? Yes, because the Red Sox, to be honest with you, I think the Yankees and Red Sox are evenly matched at this point. But I'm not that confident.
Yeah. And then we got 3 against the Patchman's beloved Nationals.
At Yankee Stadium, this should be a win.
Should be.
Could be.
And then we got 3 against the Rays.
This is in Tampa. I don't like
in
it.
Tampa.
I don't like it when they're in Tampa. Oh my God.
And then, so what, you think they're going to lose in Tampa?
I think they'll get swept in Tampa.
And then we got 4 in the Motor City.
This is another big stretch. This is a stretch of, I want to say, 10 in a row here.
10 in a row.
Probably possibly more going into September. Yes, it is more going into September. In the middle of a stretch of 13 in a row in total, you're going into September. And this is a road trip here. So you're going to Tampa, then going to Detroit, then going to Houston to start start their September series. The Tigers should be a fairly easy series. I mean, the Tigers aren't that good. They're in that crappy AL Central, which of course, the Central who has worse records than the Yankees, and then they're still in the playoffs. I digress. But I think the Yankees, this should be another get right series for them. The Tigers are not that good. They're getting better and better as the years go on. Their prospects are coming up and they're actually raking. But at the same time, this should be a get right series for the Yankees if there is one to have.
Exactly. So yeah, that's August. Dude, think about it. The Yankees don't make the postseason. We're only gonna have 2 more of these left.
Yeah, man.
You're
Don't cry. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Guess what it's time for?
Yeah, I know what time it is.
It's time for Stump the Reds.
Fine. All right.
Okay, so for those of you who are new, first of all, welcome. We're glad you're watching. But yeah, every month I try to see if I can get Reg with some Yankees trivia. So
Okay.
I got 3 questions, in both different topics.
Okay.
One, since we just had the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. Here we go.
First question is Yankees and All-Stars.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna suck it.
Which Yankee has the most All-Star game appearances? Is it A, Derek Jeter, B, Mickey Mantle, C, Joe DiMaggio, or D, Mariano Rivera?
It's not Jeet. It has to be Jeter.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is incorrect.
So, DiMaggio. Then Rivera.
It's number 7
Oh, it's Mickey.
with 20 All-Star game appearances.
He had 20 All-Star game appearances.
It's Mickey Mantle.
I didn't realize he had that much.
Yeah, I know, because he only played for. Hold on, maybe I could be wrong on something.
He's like,
Okay, what a fact check this. Bill's not. I'm not always right, Reg.
Yeah, I'm just saying because he retired young. I mean, so
Yeah, 20-time All-Star. If according to
okay.
Wikipedia, yeah, I'm doing a fact check here, folks. I'm sorry. Since we also just had the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, this next topic is Yankees and Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Which Yankee is one of the 2 Hall of Famers to get in via special election?
Well, via special election.
Yes.
Well, I know it's Joe Torre. No,
Wait, he got in special election?
He didn't get in with the baseball writers. No.
No. Special election meaning they waived the wait period.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Well,
Okay.
I would think Lou
What was that?
Garrett.
Yup.
Okay, Lou
Again,
Gehrig.
bonus. Yep, Lou Gehrig, 1939. He got in via special
I-
election
He got in. Yeah, he died.
in 1941. And you know what? This is a side one. He wasn't a Yankee, but who was the other one who got in via special election?
He wasn't a Yankee, but he got in via special election.
Who was the other one?
Ugh. He was not a Yankee.
Not a Yankee.
Uh, was it Jackie? No, it was not Jackie Robinson. Was it Bob Clemente? Was it Roberto?
It was Roberto Clemente.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And since we just concluded the Subway series, okay, this is part 2 to a question I asked you last month.
Okay.
Last month, I asked you, aside from Buck Showalter, who were the other 4 managers who managed both the Yankees and the Mets? And those were, the other 4 were Casey Stengel, Joe Torre, Dallas Green, and Yogi Berra, and Buck Showalter. Which of those 5, Stengel, Torre, Green, Berra, and Showalter, who was the only one who won a pennant with both the Yankees and the Mets?
Who was the only one that won a pennant
With both the Yankees and the
with
Mets.
the Yankees and the Mets? What won the pennant?
Pennant.
Wouldn't it be Torrey? Because he won a bunch of them. No, Yogi. Okay, it was Yogi.
It was Yogi Berra, who in
Is it-
1960.
I keep forgetting that he was a part of that staff when
1964 with the
Yeah.
with the Yankees and 1973 with the Mets. And I gotta say, I think Yogi.
I keep forgetting about that 73 season where they faced the Orioles.
Yeah, and I think I think Yogi Berra doesn't get enough credit for 64 because he took a team that was aging. Mantle even said that he should have retired after 64.
Yeah.
And a team that was prone to injuries, and he took them to the World Series. So I don't think Yogi gets enough credit for that. So, okay, that is it for this month of Bombers Banter. Reg, if they want more, where do they go?
By the way, I'm so sorry. It was the Oakland A's in that 73 World Series against the Mets. So sorry.
Yes.
I am so sorry.
And future Yankee Reggie Jackson was MVP of that series.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah. See, this is how much I'm not very good with all the old stuff. So, Bill, I think you stopped me there a little bit. Yeah, well, kind of not.
Yeah. You got most. You got the other 2 right. The first one I was.
Yeah.
So, Reg, if they want more, where do they go?
www.sportscitynetwork.com and follow our socials. Do I want to promote that we're on X? Elon Musk. X.
We're on X.
X. What a disgrace.
That's a whole nother conversation for another podcast.
So our socials right now are pending, but right now we are on Twitter, or what's going to be rebranded, but Twitter.
It's going to be Twitter.
Sure, X. What kind of name is that? X. Like,
I don't know. Talk to Elon Musk. It was not my idea.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Talk to Elon Musk. I'm sure he has a few good things to say.
Yeah. Yes.
Watch, he's probably buddies with Hal Steinbrenner.
What a disgrace.
I have this feeling that Elon Musk and Hal Steinbrenner are like best buddies. I don't know. Just have that feeling.
In any case, we're on there and Facebook. Please search Sports City Network. Search and then we're on YouTube, Sports City Network, where this little show will be on.
So like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell.
All right. We love you. We appreciate you. And let's go Yankees.
Go Yanks.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we're going to be in a better mood next month.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't count on it.
I hate this team. Excuse my language, but I hate this team right now.
No, I do too.
Oh.
Goodbye, folks. Stay safe and take care.
Go Yanks.
Go Yanks.